Greetings, wrestling fans, and welcome to Squared Circle Society. I'm Flesh Wound Dan, joined as always by producer Tad racking the XPW hat tonight.
Good evening.
How goes it, Tad?
All goes well. How about yourself?
Oh, doing well.
Should be told I don't care. I'm just being nice.
Damn, Todd.
I'm just fucking with you.
Well, that's cold. You're always in a bad mood when you have to talk wrestling, but tonight we've got Dark Side of the Ring and a little XPW, a little Money in the Bank. We even got a wrestling-related movie review tonight, which I don't think we ever did. We might have done it in the audio era for an SCS, but
Magnum T.A could have been huge.
Yeah.
Big T, so that's an awesome hat. You can get it from thexpwwrestling.com. Sorry, Ben.
Yes. Yeah, you can also get like signed posters there. The Masada shirt is awesome. I need to order that myself. Who else has shirts on there? You can rep the MAGA Butcher if you want.
We know Dan does every time he's not on air.
That's fucked up, Ted.
He was just showing me some great graphics of the 90s that him and MAGA Butcher support.
Damn. Yeah, we need to cover some of that dark side of the 90s stuff too. Ben Grimm, this show made me want to watch Dusty videos all night more than Magnum vid. We'll get into that. I'm kind of curious. I don't know if we'll have any old timers in the live stream tonight or not, but even if you're listening later in the comments, if you saw Magnum live or we're just a fan back then, I'd be curious to hear from you because it's an interesting story.
I can't even say that shit.
You're an old bastard, Dad.
I'm not that old though. I didn't go see Magnum T.A in the Grand Olympic Auditorium. By the time I was going to the Grand Olympic, it was Sabu and Jimmy and all those fuckers, New Jack and Supreme. So
you are the same age as most of those guys.
I am nowhere near as old as Magnum T.A, Dan.
Well, no, you're not as old as Magnum T.A, but the people you just mentioned.
I'm actually.
You weren't a kid going to see Homeless Jim.
Exactly, but what I'm saying is that's when I finally got to like the Grand Olympic.
I am just gonna tell Jimmy is like, Todd said you're an old piece of shit, Jimmy. You might need to slap him. But
I did not say that, and Jimmy knows better.
All right, but guys, tonight we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, and probably should have asked you, Fair, what order do you want to go in? You want to do Dark Side?
I mean Magnum.
Yeah.
I figured, it's our Magnum. Yeah, we normally don't have many topics on this one, so yeah, we'll open with that and close with the movie. So
Sweet. And hate to do this. Stall for 30 seconds. Somebody's at my door.
All right. Go Dan. All right. Well, while Dan's off picking up, I'm going to be good since he can't defend himself. Well, Big T, Ben, thanks for jumping on. I know there's a lot of people streaming tonight, so thank you everyone for joining us. And well, anyone have any big Magnum T.A memories? That's the thing. I'm a little bit older, but I still don't have that Magnum T.A. I know, respect all that stuff, but I mean, I never was like growing up on him. I knew who he was from like PWI, but I wasn't like a religious,
You probably knew him more from the tape trade or so, or just.
Well, by the time I was tape trading, I mean, I wasn't trying to pick up the best of Magnum T.A. I was picking up the best of Sandman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, we'll get right into the episode. So this was the second episode of season 4. We've got the Graham family, I believe, coming up next. But Dark Side of the Ring shattered the Magnum T.A story.
I'm still not convinced this didn't start off as Tales from the Territory season 2 now.
So I kind of wonder because I've always viewed the Magnum TA story as pretty straightforward. I was wondering going into this episode, I'm like, am I going to learn anything that I don't already know?
No, it's just his career was done.
Yeah.
That to me, that's not Dark Side of the Ring worthy. I feel horrible for Magnum, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not a sad ending. I mean, I don't know. This is a little bit. I don't want to say too positive for Dark Side of the Ring, but it kind of feels like it. It's a stark turnaround from last week.
His ex-wife seemed a little bit fucked up from her experiences with him. I guess that's about as dark as this goes. That is messed up if you're still cheating when you're like partially paralyzed in the hospital. I don't know how he worked that one out. I mean, did he bang the nurse or something? And
I salute you, brother. No.
Yeah, I thought that. What up, AGXH? Yes, we're gonna do reviews for each one, so it should be interesting. It's all like they're main eventing with Marty Jannetty, and that is, I don't think we're gonna need anything extra on the Jannetty one.
I feel he could have been a big WCW star, but
That
what's funny? I feel like Scott Hall took his spot. Like if you look at the trajectory, it's like right when he came in, they were almost the same gimmick, and
sound very similar, yeah. At
yeah.
that point. So that's an interesting question that they do kind of pose here because he came along at a time when Crockett was riding a big wave. I think 1983 was like the highest box office they ever did. Of course, promised the NWA title. You could not argue for a second why they would put it on him because you have that comparison. They needed their Hulk Hogan. They needed that big box office guy.
And Ben points out he felt like more of a WCW, the WWE type guy, in his opinion. I agree with that.
If he would have done all right in WWE, but he would have been a mid Carter. Like
he could have been our Cuban Razor Ramon. He really could have been.
Yeah.
Or Ben Grimm, he could have been the Red Rooster. This is true.
Yeah, they might have given him something like that. I think he had enough of a look that he would have had a solid enough.
He had more personality than Terry Taylor, so we'll just go with that.
Yeah, he had a little more personality. So at this point, obviously Crockett, but they're spending a lot of money. They're really just spending. And really right after the fact, I mean, Ted Turner deal comes along in 88, so not long after his career was over. Do you think that Magnum would have changed anything if he didn't get injured?
Well, I'm going to roll that into Big T's question since he's on. I can tell where you're going. So if you want,
could he have generated enough of a hype train that maybe it's like, wow, we might have our worldwide star, not just a territory guy. Big T asks, in your opinion, if Magnum didn't get in that car accident, do you feel he could have achieved the levels of Hulk Hogan, or would he have just been the Hulk Hogan of his territory? So
that's a hard one, actually. He definitely would have been the Hogan of his territory.
Yeah,
but beyond that, I don't know. It's hard with that era.
Yeah, I mean, and Crockett, you can call it a territory, but fake Psycho said, damn. God.
Hey, at least he could jump off the top or the middle rope, whatever.
So do I think it would have changed anything? It's hard to predict something like that. I mean, is it inconceivable that he could have had a huge run and been a box office guy? It's entirely possible. I mean, you look at where he was at, the fans absolutely loved the guy. I think by the time he had that Flair feud, he would have been red hot. Would it have been enough to have changed anything to where they didn't do the Turner deal? I don't know. He would have had to have gotten as big as Hogan. I'm leaning more towards no, but
I mean, but you have to think of it like this. That
Yeah.
crop of talent, the Minnesota boys, none of them got that. Hall
Yeah.
didn't get a world title. Perfect. I mean, all the other guys there. I mean, and I don't think as good as Magnum was, he's no perfect. He's no Kurt Hennig.
No, a little bit bigger though than those guys.
He is. There's this. That is the one thing, and Vince had the hard on for the big guys. So, but I also don't. There's something about him. I think to Vince, he feels too Southern.
Yeah, it's possible, but look at #1 show on TV at the time. Magnum T.A was a phenomenon.
Yes, it was.
I mean, I think he would have gotten pushed. But let's take Crockett out. Just assume he didn't get injured. He goes into WCW. Would he have been somebody that would have been a megastar in WCW for, well, really their entire run? Which is wild when you think about how long WCW was actually around, which is not very long. It's pretty wild when you think about it. But where do you think he would have ended up? Do you think he would have been a guy that would have been front and center going up against the NWO? Would he have stayed?
Oh, he would have got jobbed out in 3 seconds against the NWO.
Yeah, I
don't. Unless he got that WWE run and then came back and was part of the NWO.
Look at it also like this: Diamond Dallas Page. Looking at where he was at, would you have really predicted that he would have had the career he did? You know, sometimes you just don't know.
No, you don't. But see, that's probably about as far as I could picture Magnum, like levels going. I mean, maybe not stalking Undertaker's wife. I don't know. I just don't. I feel like 100% he would have been the NWA World Champion.
Oh yeah. Well, they.
But I think that would have been a successful reign. But I don't know if that would have. And it's still, it's got to translate to the main. Well, I don't want to say the main roster, the Big Show, and then there was no arguing WWE.
Yeah.
So Big T said if he had gone to Vince, he would have been the third smoking gun. Hey, he had a 50-50 shot because Billy did fine. Bart, not so much.
Yeah, I don't know if I exactly see like the Magnum T.A DX run, but
I totally do. He has that Sid hair, so here he got called Sid. So.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I thought was really missing from this episode was why not interview Tessa Blanchard? That would have gotten some buzz. I mean, his stepdaughter. Why not?
Yeah.
And I know
they could have reached out. That's the thing. Maybe it's a case where she didn't want to. I mean, her current employer was smart enough not to talk to him either.
Hey, I think this was filmed probably.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that there was any like, oh, don't do that.
Yeah. But, it was fun revisiting this. Like I said, I didn't learn anything that I didn't already know. I wish they had actually spent more time on life after wrestling.
Yes.
I was like, okay, man, obviously after 86, he comes back, that big hero's welcome. I would have been more curious after that, but it kind of seems like there wasn't much of a story. He was successful outside of wrestling, lived his life, got remarried. Yeah. I mean, this is,
but really that could be it. It could just be that boring for, television. And honestly, that's what I feel like it is. And that's why I don't think it fits the dark side of the ring. To me, it feels like he had this horrible, career-ending injury in his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he just had a normal life since then. I mean, that's what it seems like. Am I wrong? And
I mean, that's the thing, because
it doesn't feel very dark to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it wasn't like he was bawling his eyes out about what might have been. He sounded like a guy that just wanted that world title run and then retiring. Now, of course, that doesn't mean anything. He could have wrestled another 20 years, like a lot.
But I think that's like just something the one thing he like could have had, almost had. He would have been content if that was, he could have called himself. But I mean, like I said, look at the era he's from. There's not a lot of guys who can call themselves world champions. It's not like the Attitude Era when 50% of the roster held the title. there was probably about 10 guys in the 80s who had the belt.
Oh yeah, no, that was something that
And I'm talking both promotions, not just one. I'm saying WWE.
Oh yeah. I mean, you look at the almost champions. I mean, I know Kerry Von Erich was one that they said was probably going to be figured into that. Magnum, of course. There's that story out there that at one point they seriously considered putting it on Curtis Hughes, which would have been interesting.
Hey, ECW superstar, Mr. Hughes.
There you go. Good trainer too. Yeah, I mean, this episode, it was fun seeing, the stories of the heels having to sneak into the hospital to visit him and all of that. Nikita Koloff. Were you a fan of Nikita?
Yeah, I mean, he's on par with like that era of people. I wasn't like all about him because he was still a little when I was getting into it, and I wasn't as Southern at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
that best of 7, I mean, that was some really...
that is, and I have seen that later. I didn't see it at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was really wild turning him babyface at that time. I mean, you kind of forget the push that he got because he's another guy that didn't stick around forever.
Read Big T's comment. It's actually pretty good.
Big T, he's an extremely articulate guy, and all I could think throughout this episode is he would make a great manager if he could actually hold up on the road nowadays. I mean, fit in AEW.
Didn't they get him to show up to a TNA event, or was that just Nikita? I know Nikita did 4.
I believe he may have been like a judge for something.
Yeah, I just kind of remember him I remember I'm like, oh shit, they got Magnum. That was cool.
I mean, hell, I think he might have had some sort of cameo when Tessa had her Impact title run.
Okay.
Could be wrong. Somebody can go back and check,
yeah.
But I feel like they might have shot something with him.
Okay.
At that
I remember some like when I still watched Impact.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this does sort of feel like one of those, like you said, more Tales from the Territories.
And that's not saying it's a bad episode, but I to me, it's like they tried to make what was one horrible event into a bad. I guess it's the dark side of the ring. Yeah, I guess it is. It's just a little different than the others. I don't know. This is like the first injury, and we're not talking like a draws, injury.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his career. It sucks, but I mean, it's not the same as Chris and Tammy.
No. There's not a lot of drama there. I mean, I know you could argue the cheating, but I mean, that was 99% of the people in that business at the time, if we're being honest. I thought like the
99, you're low.
I thought the footage of Cody Rhodes' baptism, there were little bits here that were interesting, but I don't feel like this would draw in anybody that.
I go back and watch some episodes. This is one I don't think I'll ever have unless someone's like, I really need to know about Magnum. Say, all right, fucker, come on.
I really think the Marty Jannetty episode has potential to be the most outrageous they've ever done.
Well, they did do New Jack, so that's our. I know he's crazier, so let's just see how it ends up.
What I'm really curious, and I have to be really careful here, but Marty Jannetty's posted about a rat that I actually know.
I hope she's in the documentary. Well, Dan, then you have a mission to do. Since you know this rat, you need to invite them on for the Marty Jannetty Dark Side of the Ring episode.
It's complicated.
Well, you think about that and you ponder if you could make that happen.
It's complicated because there's also somebody with her that is around and could definitely kick the living shit out of me for bringing that up. So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll see, but
they could skip that episode.
Might be Patreon content though, but Yeah, I enjoyed it. It made me want to go back and watch some of his matches again.
Or dusty matches.
Yeah. Big T, it was too uplifting for a Dark Side of the Ring episode. Shame on him for being a moderate horn dog and not partying.
Right? Moderate. God damn it.
Yeah. WWE would have flashed him up more. He wasn't going to be WWE champion. No. But I think he might have gone further than you think. I don't know. Just an impression. I don't think he would have been champion, but I think he would have had.
I think it's really going to land on the gimmick he was saddled with at the time, and he would have been.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just going to okay, Magnum. He would have been a sports car repairman. He would have predated Sparky Plug. Hopefully, been a better gimmick.
Bob Holly never would have gotten the WWE deal, and he would have just been a serial killer.
No, honestly, Vince would have thrown him in the Hawaiian shirts. He would have totally done it.
So, yeah, no, not a whole lot to talk about this episode, to be honest. Go back and watch that Best of 7 series.
He's not a guy that overcomes a gimmick. And he would be a PI easy enough. There you go. That would have made the search for the Undertaker and what was that? I don't know. When they got Leslie Nielsen, would have made it a little bit.
He just drives that Porsche into the arena with the casket on the back of it, pulls it in. Yeah. I don't know. What might have been. I really would like to see from Dark Side of the Ring some more obscure stuff. Like, I don't know if they're willing to go there if it's a wrestler that your casual fan has never heard of. But we all know some really wild shit out there that, should be told. I think even just in the deathmatch community, I mean, my God, there's all kinds of stuff that you could tap into. Some dark, some more inspirational.
We can get started on Dark Side of the Alleyway.
There you go. I still feel you could do another XPW because, and again, maybe that's just being a mark for XPW, but I still feel like there's a lot they left.
That's just that we need the definitive XPW documentary we don't have yet. That's the void that needs to be filled.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I think need to tell their story.
I know,
for sure.
Just sucks that some can't now.
Yeah, no, that does suck, but there's still enough people around that I think can tell that story. So we got the Graham family next. I know we still got the Abdullah the Butcher episode, which I think is going to be really.
Yeah, if I don't see him crack someone with the 40 of Old English, I'm going to be mad. It's one of my favorite XPW spots.
I'm looking forward to the Doink the Clown episode because Matt Bourne. I've heard a lot of Matt Bourne stories over the years. I'm not sure exactly what the hook is going to be on that.
I know he had demons, so I think there's something there. I don't know it enough. So
he was a talented guy. He really was.
His Doink was good.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. He did some interesting stuff with the gimmick on the indies, as did 50 other guys over the years. But I still remember like the worst Doink, and he was playing it off like he was Doink, like most of those guys did. But you looked at him, I'm like, this is like a 25-year-old guy under this makeup. He had his pregnant girlfriend sitting next to him, like yelling at him, like literally just browbeating him at his gimmick table. I don't remember who I was going.
Was he working as a heel or a face? I need to know that.
Babyface. But she's screaming at him, and he's just sitting there like he's already had his match, most of his paint's off. And I like lock eyes with him, and I felt really bad because I was just like, man, I'm just not feeling a $20 8x10 from a bullshit Doink. But I felt so bad for the guy. So I'm looking forward to that episode. Bam Bam Bigelow should be good. And well, like I said, the last one is Marty Jannetty. So, oh, dude, I can't fucking wait.
It's good they didn't do like. Remember, XPW didn't close last year.
It didn't. I couldn't remember.
No, there was one after.
Okay.
And it should have closed.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they're having Marty close.
Yeah, I'm glad they are too.
I would like to see Marty Jannetty at Problematic.
Oh, dude, Marty Jannetty versus the Body. I don't know if you listen to our show, but Marty Jannetty versus the fucking Body would draw.
STD on a pool match?
Ooh, Todd. That's a low blow, Todd.
Well,
that's
okay.
That's mean.
Penicillin on a pole match, so then we go the other way. Because you want to get rid of it, right? Penicillin on a pole. Yeah, that feels like it'll happen.
There you go. Or they come out as like a new version of the Rockers and first the new XPW.
The Cock Rockers.
The Cock Rockers, Todd.
I just said that.
That is a great idea. I'm not even fucking kidding. Marty,
I know it.
So much sense in XPW right now. I haven't probably watched.
I don't even know if Marty can work anymore. I have no idea.
No, I think he still works, takes bumps. I mean, Body would have to carry that for sure, but I believe he's still out there taking bumps.
Hold on.
Oh, man. Ben Grimm, I was watching an old Thunder, and Marty had a match. This was NWO days, got squashed by Jericho. It's amazing who WCW had under contract at that time. Some were just doing like the WCW Saturday Night Prime loops, like just the different shows.
I remember Marty having some good matches when he came back a few times.
He did. Like there were a few guys like Rick Martel had a solid run. Like he had a TV title run, that feud he had with Saturn. Like he actually got used, but you had like Greg Valentine was under contract, not really doing shit. Marty Jannetty, Tommy Rogers.
At least they figured out something to do with Hacksaw.
yeah, just like let's just shit on that TV title, make it look like nothing.
Well, to be fair, it was the TV title.
So yeah, that's Dark Side, but we're gonna talk a little bit of just general wrestling here. We'll go with some XPW, some WWE. We'll look at what more or less appears to be the Money in the Bank card, and we got a movie review at the end.
So Cock Rockers, first XPW tag team champions.
Yeah. Fuck.
Cock Rockers are over.
The Cock Rockers, dude. You could do Body and Jannetty going up against Kat and Ludark, maybe. That might be interesting.
Hey, Kat wants real competition now.
Yeah, you get like the fucking ex-intercontinental champion there. I guess we can't count their tag title reign, but I still kind of want to count that.
It doesn't count, dude.
They can ignore it, but
it doesn't count.
They held those belts.
There was a broken rope in the middle of the match. It was thrown out for an unsafe work environment. It makes sense to me. Didn't happen.
So did Benoit?
It's not canon.
Did Benoit not hold a belt ever? You can't really take that away, depending how you look at it, because it wouldn't make sense. Because then it's like, okay, nobody ever lost it.
I just read Ben's comment. It totally threw me off. But there you go.
Body can tie streamers to his dong. There you go.
And GXH said, dude, we still have tag team belts in XPW since 2021. Yeah, not since the relaunch.
Yeah, there should be, but they want to wait until they have the roster for it. Enough established tag teams. I'm not a big fan of like, let's just do it and figure out where we're going with it later. Look at WWE. I mean, shit, they're already dumping those NXT women's tag titles. They're unifying those. So
when is AEW going to get rid of some of their 13 titles? However many they got.
that is a huge problem. They need to combine some belts desperately. But shit, Todd, they're doing a brand split now, aren't they? I'm a little bit more behind on AEW.
Is that what's happening?
I believe so. I'm behind. I didn't catch it.
Isn't it just a CM Punk split?
Yeah, like we're just putting him on Collision because nobody can get along.
Is that on Friday?
I'm behind. Like
I want to say it's like the 16th, but didn't they have another show on Fridays?
Well, I know they're not doing Dark anymore.
No, I know that, but what was their big Dynamite? No, that's the main one, right?
Yeah, Dynamite's the main one. It shows how much AEW you are.
I know. Then they had the one on Friday.
Rampage.
So is that still a thing?
I haven't heard anything about Rampage going away. So
it's Saturday. This Saturday. Okay. So it's the 17th, not the 16th.
And is CM Punk confirmed or not?
He's on all the ads for it. So yeah.
Okay. You always get sick of a story at a certain point. It's like,
doesn't mean it's not going to change though.
That's like all anybody's talked about in regards to AEW for the last year now. And it's like,
who wins a wrestling show like on a Saturday? I don't mean like going to on a Saturday, but a TV program on a Saturday. Like, I don't want to watch TV on fucking Saturday at home.
That's
right. I did see that. CM Punk and FTR in the main event versus Joe and first Bullet Club. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I think that first one will do a decent enough rating, but CM Punk is not gonna pop a Saturday show.
I don't think anyone could pop a Saturday. The first one is gonna do good. You're right, but
yeah,
after that, honestly, I don't think it's a real brand split. I bet you once everyone's calms down about CM Punk, they'll just be back to normal.
Yeah. God, it makes
because all anyone wants is to see the fight that we're not getting.
Yeah,
I mean, there's money on the table with fucking all teeth marks and fucking fucking tag match. Get Ace Steel on that.
If they don't have Ace Steel just come out and just like fucking bite Kenny Omega into the back,
I come out in a Mike Tyson shirt.
You could get like have them bite off like a squib or something and just have blood shooting everywhere. I'd be okay with it. But that's probably about all you're going to get in terms of AEW talk, unfortunately, because I have to catch up.
Ben asked what we thought about Samoa Joe's Sweet Tooth and Twisted Metal. I haven't seen any of this stuff. I just know he's in it, and there's something weird about his voice. I don't know. I've been keeping up this week. I've been a little out of it.
I love Joe. Obviously, I'm a huge Samoa Joe fan, and I will say that I think
doesn't mean I have to love him as an actor.
See, that's what I was about to ask you. I feel like he might have something, but it's going to be hard because he kind of needs that Batista Drax kind of role because he's not going to headline action movies.
I don't even know if he can act, so I can't even give you any kind of opinion.
I get it
because even this isn't he basically just used as a stuntman? Yeah, Will Arnett is the voice. See, so he's not even. He's basically Kane Hodder. He's the stuntman, and then So
we'll see. I know he wants to get into more films, so
hopefully it's because that's what they did to that Superman movie. They dubbed the fucking kid.
I wish him all the best, though. I'm glad that
I'm a fan of Joe. I do hope, but I just don't. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna.
He's been used fairly well in AEW. Like he's been respected, at least up until recently. I actually thought they were gonna do a CM Punk Joe match for Collision.
I think that's what they're building to, because that's the feud he wants.
Yeah, and they might
CM Punk
might as well. give him something to do. But yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see that Saturday thing lasting. So we'll see what goes on there. So Ted, Money in the Bank. I know we're previewing it a little bit early here, but most of the card seems kind of obvious. So I'm curious. So we need a proper heel to carry both briefcases because it does not work very well with the baby face.
Well, no, I mean the whole setup of cashing in the title in the middle of a match is a heel move.
Yeah, and it just hasn't worked as well recently with babyface wins. So men's Money in the Bank so far, we've got Santos Escobar taking on LA Knight, Ricochet, Butch, change it back to Pete Dunne, please, and Shinsuke Nakamura with one more qualifying match between Matt Riddle and Damian Priest.
I hope he stays Butch just to piss off all you neckbeards.
Just make him there's already been a Butch for one thing. So
Patrick?
Pete Dunne. Bushwhackers, Todd.
But that was Bushwhacker. Butch.
Yeah, still.
LA Knight, Jesus.
Oh, dude. There's one other option in this match right now that I can see Santos winning it and turning heel at some point during his run.
I like it.
Case. I do think they need to kind of make LWO matter this time, so that's a good way to do it. But right now, if you're keeping Santos babyface, LA Knight makes all the sense in the world. Are they ready to put a title on him in the next year? I don't know. I wouldn't mind. You've got this irrational hate for LA Knight because it's
not irrational. I just don't understand why everyone's got his fucking balls on their chin. He's not that good.
He's good in the ring. He's a really good heel.
His mic skills are a caricature of a pro wrestler. I don't know. My problem is I want to see people I believe fighting, and I don't believe him. He looks like someone that's fucking built for show, not to. I don't know.
He's an arrogant heel, but his in-ring's really good. I think his promos are great. He's a little bit older.
The promos are what loses me because they are all fucking caricatures of what I think a wrestling promo is.
Okay. Well, you can. I don't think Ricochet's not getting it.
I got X-Pac geek with LA Knight.
I guess so. Ricochet's not getting it right now. He's just there for some big spots. Shinsuke's not getting it right now. Butch would be interesting, and I know Triple H is a huge fan of him, but I don't necessarily. I see him getting vetoed. If he went really back to just, even if he stays Butch, if he just goes back to more of that Pete Dunne character, which they've kind of moved him a little bit towards it, I could certainly see him in the main event scene. I just feel like that would be a Vince veto. But right now, I'd say LA Knight makes sense. They need more fucking. You've got one heel in this match. That's like the one reason why I'm like, maybe they will put it on LA Knight. Because technically right now, there's one heel in the match. I think Damian Priest will probably get added. Riddle will probably have the Intercontinental title match with Gunther, which I'm fine feeding him to Gunther, in all honesty. My opinion on Matt Riddle. But who do you put the case on, Todd, for the men?
No, I don't care. I don't have an answer. I mean, LA Knight's the smart move because you guys all suck his dick, but I don't care.
Oh, man. That's a lot of enthusiasm. All right, maybe
you're the one who wanted to talk about this. I didn't. But we kind of glossed over XPW because we didn't talk about TV. Then you expect me to be happy about talking about this shit.
XPW main events, Todd. All right, women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Some more intriguing picks here. This one's not a sure thing, but Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Zelina Vega, Io Sky, and Bailey. Becky doesn't need it. It's just no real reason right now. Zoe's interesting. I just don't think they're going to strap a rocket to her quite yet. Zelina's great. I hope she keeps getting pushed, but again, babyface, it just doesn't work for me. Bailey certainly could get it, but I think you give this to Io Sky. An Io Sky Asuka program is going to be fantastic. You've got Bianca and Charlotte now, who I think can kind of keep each other busy. They don't need to be in the title scene for a little bit, but Asuka Io feud sounds great to me. So that's where I would go with that one. The rest of the card's still forming, but it looks like Seth Rollins, Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight title. That'll be a really good match. It's nice seeing a belt defended each month now. Roman, I'm guessing, will probably work with Jimmy Uso, and maybe Jay will be the SummerSlam match, because I don't think they're going to go back to Cody right away. Although it's entirely possible there's still a surprise to come in these Money in the Bank ladder.
Well, there was Big T asked the question, so I'll pull this good time to bring it up.
Big T, do you think it's possible one of these men will get replaced by Drew McIntyre, who could possibly return and win the briefcase? Possibly, because I think he'll get a heel run. I don't see them letting him go. If they do, they're insane. I mean,
well, isn't that where it's still at? Like, he's not. No one knows if he's signed yet.
Nobody knows. He has a little bit of time left. I don't think his contract's up until next year. But yeah, I could see a heel Drew McIntyre. I've always said it. He got fucked by the pandemic.
He should come back bitter.
Yeah, I think the story is there for you turning him heel, and I mean, hey, he could take out Butch. That's certainly get him some heat. I'd be totally down for that. There's a strong likelihood.
Take out LA Knight and get the best heat there is.
Oh, Todd. Right now, if it's just the guys in the match, Santos would be my prediction, but I do feel like there's a strong possibility it's somebody not in the match yet. But time will tell. Yeah, Reigns, Uso, that'll continue. It could be Usos against Reigns and Solo, but I think it's, let them defend the belt here. Intercontinental title, Gunther, Matt Riddle. It'll be a good match. Gunther's got to break Honky Tonk Man's record. Like, it's time, and I can't imagine they're not going to let it happen at this point. SmackDown women's title looks like it's going to be a triple threat with Asuka, Bianca, and Charlotte. Cody might have a mixed tag or a singles match with Dominic, which will be a lot of fun, actually, because Dominic has still managed to maintain his heat. I got to give a lot of credit there. That's been booked really well.
How much Dan hated Dominic, too.
At first, I was like, oh, man, they need to get this out of the way. And, hey, they made it work. And probably SmackDown tag titles. I'm guessing being in London, KO and Zayn against Imperium, which will be a really good match. So that's Money in the Bank. Now, Todd, we can talk about what you care about, which is XPW. So TV episode 41, we get a recap of the Alex Colon promo on GCW, which was awesome. I'm really excited for that Puerto Rican street fight with Bestia 666, which kudos for making that make sense. Our opening promo, Cat Martini comes in, mocks Masada, a little bit confused why Bestia 666 gets a title shot. And once again, it's because of Munch. Munch's Mexican defamation lawsuit.
He always gets his says in there.
He does, and Beastia is a UEW alumni, right? I think
He
he's
is. Back when Munch was the talent liaison.
there. You go, there you go. So I know you're familiar with Beastia.
And there's the Rob Black connection too, because he managed BC and Supreme, or was he with Mexico's Most Wanted? I should know this. Versus Beastia and Damien.
Oh, okay.
With that night, so I know he was with BC, but yeah, I think I was.
You'll have to post that match maybe at some point. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad. It's weird. I know this, and it's like escaping my brain.
It's a lot of history. I'm trying to think if I have that one on Blu-ray or if that was a DVD.
That is Hellbound 2014.
Oh, okay. That's further back than I thought then, but okay. I might have that one. So yeah, good job of explaining that. It's pretty essential that you do watch XPW TV because there's a lot that you may or may not get recapped on the pay-per-view, so it is good to tune into that. We get a really good Judge Joe Dredd promo.
Always good.
Yeah, he's really coming into his own in XPW. I'm a big Judge Joe Dredd fan. Pugs, of course, who will be back shortly, is a huge fan of Judge Joe Dredd.
Yeah. He's good. Hopefully Pugs will be at Problematic. I'm assuming so. Pugs, you better be at Problematic, or that's going to be problematic.
Yeah, something tells me Pugs is not gonna miss Problematic.
I'm sure.
Ben had said they should have given it to Logan Paul, the Money in the Bank. If they're willing to put the title on him,
it'll get a pop.
Oh, I think that's gonna get a lot of boos.
No, I meant just him, for the if he returns the Money in the Bank.
That's another possibility. Like I said, I get that vibe. I think the women will be as is. They'll add another person into it, but I think the women will more or less be as is. I think the men, you are going to get something, whether it's McIntyre. SummerSlam's coming up, so who the hell knows? They could pull a surprise with Logan Paul. It really would not shock me in the least.
Yeah, setting up for the big show coming up. You're right.
But we also get a Rob Black promo hating on British people, and he was perusing at Extreme Gifts the cock and ball torture DVDs.
Dan recognized them without being told.
That is
I didn't know that. Well, you figured it out.
Yeah. So other than that, Kat wants a challenge. She wants a real match, which should be interesting. I still want Body to take the belt off of her, but I don't know. There you go, Marty Jannetty. Even if we don't have Body, maybe that's a way to set up the tag title feud. Have Marty Jannetty come out there and have a match with her. That would be awesome. I'm trying to think who else that might be. Todd, do you think any surprise or any return perhaps on the horizon for Kat?
Well, we both want the Body to come back. That's the match that we didn't get last month that we still want.
Yeah, I desperately want to see that match happen. So hopefully we do. Although at the same time, if I make Genocide I'd like to see that in person, but
I don't think it'll make it to Genocide. I think maybe it'll make it to the next East Coast show. Because I'd get that was match should have happened already. I'd be like, let's make it happen.
it depends how long he's going to be out.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think if he was back this month, we'd probably have it this month.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Cat will take on Sabu. He did some spots. It's possible.
She wants competition.
Are you shit talking, Sabu?
No, I'm just seeing if you were.
Damn.
No, Sabu will still fucking fuck me up. It's okay. He might miss the spot 3 times before he does it, but
no, we could get another Angel match, perhaps, if you don't have the body. That's a good lead into the body. There you go. That's another possible tag team, quite frankly, too. So,
yes.
That's what we had in terms of XPW. We'll have a more in-depth rundown of the problematic card as we get closer, but
yeah, that was the big updates from TV, and it was also the same stuff that was talked about on the podcast too.
Yes. Don't miss the Rob Black show, by the way. Like, there's some explosive shit on there. You will get into it, even if you're just kind of discovering XPW. You'll really enjoy that show. He goes hard.
Hard in the paint. Come on, gotta get it right.
Hard in the paint. If Robbie E ever gets released from WWE, they should bring him into XPW, do it, because they always said he was sort of doing a Tony Khan thing. They should bring him into XPW as Brett Lauderdale type gimmick.
Right. Yes. I feel like hold on. I feel like I need to answer Ben's question right now. He's asking, Judge Joe Dredd is coming up against Mike, right? In CCW, Mike Kruger. Sorry. Yes, he is. It's going to be a 4 corners match. Mike Kruger, Judge Joe Dredd, Stoneburner, and Lazarus. I don't know Keaton Stoneburner or Stoneburner yet, but yes. So that's the 3rd. So we'll make sure you guys get to see it on Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon. Check that out. Kruger, man, he's gonna have maybe Kruger will answer Cat's challenge. You never know.
I don't want to have to boo Kruger. Sorry, Kruger.
Booing Kruger is not a good idea.
It'll be like your first night in UEW. You remember that? I'm kidding. Although with this, like, this kind of feels like, I don't want to say like the UEW thing, but I'm kind of getting that, like, because it's a bunch of new people. Like, it's like I want to boo the new people because they're like they're going against the XPW guys and they're outsiders now. So I kind of get that. I don't know. I feel that the hostility may be up next show.
All right, I got a pitch for
I'm going to channel my 2015 next show.
I've got a pitch, Todd. Fantasy booking. You hear Shield music hit, but with John Morrison's hair, and it's Ozzy coming out to answer the challenge for Cat.
I think that's your fetish. You want to see Ozzy's hair blowing in the wind.
It should happen. Hey, that's another tag team. Johnny XPW and Oswaldo.
See, it'd be Johnny Extreme. Come on, you know that.
Yeah, Johnny Extreme. You're probably right. But there you go. There's another tag team. We're booking an awesome tag team division.
Well, they should just call him Johnny Cuck and be done with
it. He's definitely getting Johnny Cuck chance if he does anything with XPW now.
Only his old lady did.
I could kind of see a run potentially with him. I don't know. He's had a lot of stuff, so I don't know. He might be a one-off kind of thing, but
I know we didn't get any more Enzo.
No, I wish we need more Juventud.
Yeah, we haven't had Hoovy in a minute. Maybe he'll. We still got some people that are going to show up in California, so you never know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We need more Juventud, and I'd like to see Enzo back.
I would too. When is?
Sense.
I should know the date off the top of my head. The XPW date. It is. I know it's the last Saturday of the month. I'm just trying to. May 20th. May. No, that's Broken Beacon. Broken, Beaten, and Scarred. Wrong show. June 24th. Yep. So it's only 2 weeks away, basically. Oh shit! Wait. That's next Saturday, not this Saturday. Next Saturday. Fuck. It's like 13 days away.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna be. Are you streaming live? Because I won't be at that one, but
we'll see where the day takes us. You never know.
There you go. Just make sure you hide the dick pins this time, Todd. There's children there. God damn it.
Nope. I'm giving them all to the body. You deal with this shit. You tell Jasmine. He's gonna tell you there's children here. and then just give her the new pin.
I thought she was joking, and then I was like, I don't know. She might not have been joking.
Yeah, that's because I was like, yeah, and then like she didn't like join in on us laughing.
All right, guys.
We don't want to get yelled at too.
That is true. All right, so we got a movie review for you guys. So we were talking in general about maybe not every episode, because it'll depend if we're running down like the actual XPW show. There might not be as much time,
but like our dark side ones, we'll probably
throw in a lesser known wrestler themed.
I'm just gonna tell you, it's not gonna happen on the Marty Jannetty week. Pretty sure it'll be all Marty Jannetty.
That'll be all Marty Jannetty. We might need to do a Patreon after show for Marty Jannetty. Because
maybe we will still need a movie, but you're right, we probably should.
It's tough because I don't want to incriminate people, but I have heard actually more than a few Marty Jannetty stories over the years that I feel like we gotta maybe change a few details and do it on Patreon, because I think it'd be funny.
Maybe we'll watch his match from the UEW arena too. Patreon.
There you go. All right, so we're doing Rowdy Piper tonight. I think you'll probably see several Rowdy Piper reviews, because a lot of people don't realize. I mean, it's like for Piper, it's like They Live, and to a lesser extent, Hell Comes to Frogtown. But Rowdy Piper racked up a lot of movies. He had a pretty solid and regular B movie run through the 90s into the 2000s. He did a lot of stuff. And tonight we're going to talk about the 1996 film from director Peter Svatek, and it is SCI-FIGHTERS. So, Boston, 2009, the future world of 2009. A police detective played by Rowdy Piper searches for Adrian Dunn, his ex-partner played by Billy Drago, who murdered and sexually assaulted his wife. Dunn has escaped from prison on the moon and returned to Earth with a deadly mutating alien virus. All right, so SCI-FIGHTERS. So, Todd, I was a Piper mark as a kid. That's probably something I'm sure we kind of share, because, Piper, encompasses a long time. But I was also a big fan of a lot of the movies he did, a lot of the B movies he did post They Live. Piper really probably should have gone further. I've said it before. Best wrestler turned actor of all time, in my opinion. I don't think anybody's knocked him off that perch. Not the most successful.
Well, no. I think the problem is he's too character actor for he feels more like the parts, like the character parts in the draw.
I think he has more range for sure than like The Rock.
You literally, the fucking Rock acts like a fucking Rock. You picked literally the person with zero range.
I'm running him down, Todd. Batista has shown that he can actually act. Who would have thought? I'm not going to say that he's eclipsed the Rock or Piper yet for me.
I don't think we've seen enough of Batista yet to really. He's the one right now who has the biggest shot, but he's still, starting.
You look at some Piper stuff, this Jungle Ground, Dead Tides, those are all ones we'll probably cover. Piper could do different things. Cyber City, where he plays like an insane preacher in the future. Piper could actually do different things. He could do comedy. He did a lot of different stuff, usually not starring roles towards the end of his life. He acted till the end of his life. Did some family stuff, some horror stuff. I mean, he had range, and I think he should have had a bigger career after They Live. But just to get to this movie, if you're unfamiliar with the director, he also directed Bleeders with Rutger Hauer, which is a movie I like quite a bit. I hope maybe he'll get a Blu-ray at some point. Witchboard 3, not the most popular of that trilogy. He also did the Call of the Wild 1997 TV movie and a lot of TV. I think he's still active. So some background on this one. Billy Drago was the first celebrity, I think it was, that I ever corresponded with. Not counting conventions, but just kind of like corresponded with. Wrote him a letter and almost went, well, I shouldn't say almost. I think at that point I was still young, and I think my mom was not too keen on me going to California to enroll in Billy Drago's acting school. And his wife, Sylvia, who played the maid in Death Wish 2. They had an acting school in California. I believe you can actually see some retro trailers for that acting school on YouTube, or at least you could at one point. I actually found one. So this movie I was super excited for when I heard it was happening on probably IMDb at that time, because I had two of my heroes in it. I had Billy Drago, who is one of the best B-movie villains of all time, and Rowdy Piper. I definitely have nostalgia goggles on for this movie.
You do.
I definitely do. I'm going to acknowledge that off the bat. You can play a drinking game because Drago's still obsessed with Piper's wife, who of course is dead because he killed her. So he kind of does the Joe Spinell thing, abducts like some ladies of the night, and in his head as he's mutating thinks they're Katie. Or as he said, there's a drinking game here. Katie, not Katie. And then that's when he flips out and, murders them. There is a drinking game because it's pretty funny the way he delivers some of his lines. I like this movie. Now, I have a taste for 90s sci-fi action schlock. So, again, I don't want to overhype it.
You did. 100%. You did to me.
It has a Blade Runner kind of vibe going with Montreal subbing for Boston, which is where it's supposed to take place. There's a lot of Montreal-based actors in this movie. They keep things pretty dark with the sort of, I forget what they called it, an echo eclipse to pretty much like limit the amount of futuristic shit that we have to show in the city. But it works fairly well. And, Piper sells pain pretty well. I think, as a guy who lost his wife, it's a good vehicle for him to showcase some of his acting talents. It could have used a little more pizzazz for some of the action fans out there, because he doesn't really get to go face to face with Billy Drago until the end. And it's kind of funny because even the finale is somewhat lifted from Blade Runner with Piper hanging off of the building. Billy Drago's character is a little bit not quite as selfless as Rutger Hauer was in Blade Runner, though, but nonetheless very similar. It's a nostalgia movie all the way for me, but if you like Rowdy Piper, if you like Billy Drago, who elevates everything, in my opinion, I do think this one is worth a watch. It's better than pretty much all modern sci-fi action themed B movies that we get. And I always say this, you look at that era, they were almost always at least fun. Almost always at least fun. And just, I could see some people feeling cheated at the action in this one, because it's not an action heavy film. And there are Rowdy Piper movies like Tough and Deadly or Back in Action, the two he did with Billy Blanks, that are more action packed. But if you want to see the range, I think it's good. There's some script issues, and there is actually a version of this where there's some very un-PC things where there's some slurs used, and they wanted to get a PG-13 rating for this at one point, I believe. So they like mute some F words, but it's like about an alien grapist. Without saying the word. So I'm like, I don't know where you were going to get a PG-13 rating there.
96, it was possible.
Maybe. I don't know. But what did you think, Ted? So obviously you didn't like it as much, but
no, I do remember, because I did see it when it first came out.
Okay.
Problem with 90s like stuff like this at the time, I was too busy trying to accomplish other things, so I kind of just like would not pay attention as much or whatever. But like, this is when I'd seen, I was like, it was all right. It didn't really deliver what I was looking for. Watching it again, I do like the 90s stuff, but as I was watching, I was like, God damn it, Dan. You like overhyped everything to the point where, yes, it's all in the plot, but I'm expecting something totally different. So it kind of like didn't hit. And if it was any other two people in the movie, I would have not liked this at all. Like, at all. It's too fucking Blade Runner-y, as you've clearly called out. Now, if you would have warned me that going in, like, okay, it's kind of Blade Runner-y, but you might like it, instead of telling me all the cool stuff that I'm like, yes, then maybe.
Well, it's still very much a B movie. I mean, Blade Runner's not a B movie. So
it's a B movie that's in a picture, though.
Blade Runner's a big time Hollywood production.
It's Star Wars is a B movie that's in a picture.
Oh, well, all right, depending how you define.
Yeah, I'm talking about like that. It's a B movie. I mean, when you come down to it, but yeah, I liked it. I like the performances, but I think overall, I'm probably not going to watch it again. It's on Tubi if you guys want to check it out through Shout TV. And we didn't say earlier, XPWTV is on Stream XPW. You don't need a membership to watch it.
Yeah, work your way through some of Piper's films, because, like I said, Immortal Kombat's another one that's a little more popular because Joe Bob Briggs did that one back in the day. He had Piper on, actually. I think on Darcy's YouTube, they might have those segments with Piper, worth checking out. And I actually remember watching that, and once again flipping out as a kid, because again, that's two heroes of mine that I got to see together. So yeah, go through. So total nostalgia for me, but I'm going to be realistic and give it a 3. How about you, Ted?
I'm not too far off. I didn't hate it. I liked the performances, but it just wasn't working for me. It was a 2.5.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
I know at some point we'll probably do. I don't want to say full-on erotic thriller, but there is a Rowdy Piper kind of, sort of, at least elements of an erotic thriller out there called Dead Tides that we might cover at some point.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. I will keep Dan in line everything we do will not feature Roddy Piper. I swear, because that's like all he wants to do, and we're not doing Roddy Piper every weekend. I'm going to give you one Roddy Piper a month rule.
2 Rowdy Piper.
Nope, one a month. That's 4 weeks. That's one show a month, which to me, it should be spread out more. You get one a month.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to do everything he ever did, but
every week you're gonna be like, I want to do Piper. We're not doing that.
All right. I will say a few that I know you will like. Jungle Ground, which I think is really good. JR.
Okay, but Dan, you're not hearing what I'm saying. You're telling me what I'm not wanting to hear. I'm telling you we're not doing Piper every week.
Oh, no, not every week.
You don't have to list off a bunch I like. There is other ones I like. And it has nothing to do with SCI-FIGHTERS. But you're getting too Pipery.
So here's a question.
You're getting a little too Pat Patterson, Dad. Calm the fuck down about Piper.
Damn, Todd. That's fucked up. Chat.
What
would you be interested in seeing? Particularly, chat. What non-Piper stuff would you be interested in seeing? Particularly some of the like lesser known stuff. I mean, I don't think we'll do like a major Rock or Batista movie because why? But yeah, there is other stuff.
I mean, unless there's a new one you guys really want us to cover, but we'd probably cover it on something else. Who knows what Batista will do? But Dan just doesn't want to cover Guardians. He's just protecting himself ahead of time.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious, Fast X Part 2. Dad, Fleshman features.
I might get sick that week, Todd. I don't know. Batista did some B movies, though.
He did. One directed by legendary director, the man who gave me one of my top 10 films of all time, the man, the myth, the demon.
There you go. Bushwick's a good one that Batista did. Actually, a really cool storyline. Obviously, not a huge budget.
Undertaker and Suburban Commando. I'll tell you like this: would you rather Farce cover that? We've been threatening Ozzy with Suburban Commando.
You haven't.
I don't want to. No.
God, Suburban Commando would be great. How's that a threat? Suburban? You don't like Suburban Commando?
I'm not a. Again, Dan, I was a lot older than you when that movie came out.
Oh, okay. Well, I still think that movie's fun as an adult.
Yeah, but you absorbed it and liked it as a child. So there's a difference between that and watching it now. Like, there's no nostalgia for me.
You saw it in the theater, I take it, right? 90. So probably.
No, I didn't even bother. I saw it on a hit-home video. I wasn't gonna go fucking see a fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger or fucking Hulk Hogan. I was trying to get pussy, goddammit. No one's giving you pussy if you take him to Suburban Commando.
That was 1990. That's pre-pussy for you, isn't it? I'm trying to do the math on that.
1990?
90 or 91. It might have been 91.
Oh, I was definitely in high school. 91, yeah. 91. So it was my freshman year in high school. What am I trying to fucking do? RVD is in Black Mass too. Yes, he is.
Yeah. Blood Moon with Gary Daniels as well, although it's really just one fight scene. But
I think Big T brought up Wrestlers vs. Zombies. I was kind of thinking we can do because we've done a trauma show for almost everything now. We can do a trauma SCS, review that, and talk about, Lloyd Kaufman and Toxic Avenger are tag team champions. So we could review the match. There you go. Our first trauma exclusive SCS.
I feel like there other than that, there has to be another wrestling themed trauma movie.
I know, that's what I was thinking, trying to double it up, but
yeah, I'd have to look. But like Roni Jonah, Shelly Martinez, she didn't do a lot, but there's some.
I feel like I was trying to think of a second one we can, and with some of the newer stuff, I think Buckethead might have, or Junk Bucket might have someone wrestler related.
Yeah, I feel like there's more than a handful if you really do the research on it. So the trauma SCS is definitely possible.
Or there's 100% a movie that has Lloyd Kaufman and a wrestler in it somewhere along the way. They may not be in the same scene, but
yeah, we can justify it. So guys, that is all we have for you tonight. Once again, thank you for listening live, because I know like every human being on YouTube is streaming tonight. So we appreciate you showing us some love. If you haven't, please hit that thumbs up, notification bell, all that good stuff. And like I said, we will have some interesting Patreon content. We had a very adult one a week or so ago. So certain things you can't do on the regular YouTube as much. So show us some love on Patreon. We really appreciate it, and we try and make it worth your while. We will. What do we have coming up next? I know we should have Pugs back soon-ish. We've got a bunch of reviews coming your way. You know, we have some Wild Eye stuff and
The Blackening next week.
The Blackening. Yeah, some our non-exploitation show.
I believe that's Wednesday.
Yeah, so some really cool shit dropping. And also, guys, check out it's Tuesday, Region Free. We're going to have another episode. If you haven't already, Region Free Season 3, please subscribe to that on YouTube, because you'll want to comment last month's panel show. You can drop your hate mail. You can say something nice if you want. Hopefully only nice things about me, Cliff Booth, if you're watching this. But comment, because we will read it on the air, even the hate mail. So yeah, let your voices be heard on the previous episode. And I know we're going to be talking Insidious versus the Conjuring universe. We've got a lot of other topics. There may be, depending, a legacy cast member returning to Region Free. So you want to check that out. Could be a big surprise. I don't even know who it is. So that should be interesting. Lauren's keeping it a secret, so you won't want to miss that. Region Free is a great show, and we had a great debut for Season 3. So please subscribe. And that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you soon.
All right, guys. Good night. We will see you. Yeah, check us out tomorrow for Farce. We got Johnny Dangerously.
Yes.
All right. Good night.
Good night.